living the life around the world. It's time for Inner Mouse, your Disney lifestyle destination, with Scott, JL, Nicole, and John. Oh boy! Ha! Gosh!
Hey everyone! Welcome to another episode of Inner Mouse, the vidcast for people who are striving to lead a Disney-driven life. I'm JL from the DisneyDrivenLife.com. With me here tonight are John, columnist for the Disney Food Blog, Scott from the CollectTheMouse.com, and Nicole, neurotic Disney individual extraordinaire.
Hi.
We have a great episode in store for you tonight. Since we're hitting the Thanksgiving season, we thought we would talk about things that we are thankful for concerning Disney. But before we get into all that, we do have some mousekeeping to take care of, so go ahead and take it, Scott.
Why, thank you, JL. One of the biggest things today is that today is our beloved JL's birthday. She turns 20 today. 23. Beautiful. Love it.
Absolutely. Same age as me next week.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. One of the big things is we told you guys all about our meetup on December 5th, and we'd love you to come there. It's at the Jumbo House, and we'll be in the Sunset Lounge. But we changed the time on you, and I apologize for that, but it was 3. We are now 2 o'clock. So 2 o'clock, just 1 hour earlier. So please come by and join us, and there will be some giveaways. Quantities are limited on the giveaways, so we hope we have enough for everybody, but we'll see what happens. Episode 12 is now up on iTunes and on the Disney Driven Life. So if you missed episode 12, just log in and check it out. As always, we have our email here at Inner Mouse. So if you guys have questions, comments, if you just want to send us love mail, I'm good with that. Just send it to the show. Yeah, I know.
Appropriate love mail.
It'll all be Nicole, I'm thinking.
No, not
Scott, don't get
actually.
the love mail.
Wait, it's because of the beard, right?
No, I get the love mail because of the beard.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe I should grow a beard.
No.
You should. So it's show@innermouse.com. So send us an email. And hey, if you just want to say hi, do that as well. Just a little update. Our good friend in the chat room, BB1955, purchased a bunch of crazy foods in Epcot in Mexico for me to eat. So I promise I will save them and I will eat them on a future show. And that should be a lot of fun.
Awesome.
That was really sweet.
And one more last thing, unless you wanted to jump in, John, go for it.
No, I was saying awesome to BB1955 because we like to watch you suffer sometimes.
She gave me a hint, and it sounds like spicy stuff, and that's right up my alley because I love spicy food.
Man versus Disney food.
It'll be our new episode. And one last thing. All of us here at Inner Mouse wanted to wish all of you a wonderful Thanksgiving, and we hope that all of you have crispy trees. And I think it's back to Nicole with one more mousekeeping.
Yes, I wanted to personally invite you all, runners or not, to join in on the virtual race that I'm throwing in collaboration with Tim Weston to fundraise for Team in Training, which benefits the Lymphoma and Leukemia Society. And it's basically just online. You register by donating through his website. You would pay $5 to join and then $1 per mile. And then that's how you sign up. And then you would just run it, in your neighborhood, at your gym, whatever you normally do. And then we're going to have a $25 gift card as the prize that you would win for uploading a picture to our site. And it has to be a fun-themed picture, either like something Team in Training or Thanksgiving or just you in your running clothes, something that will entertain us. And they will win. The winner gets a $25 gift card. So you can find more on the link that Tim will maybe post for us again in the chat.
We
Awesome.
want to be entertained.
And Katie would like to give $2.
Yes?
I missed one thing. Sorry.
Go to it.
Just to remind everybody, next week we are not going to have a show next week. We're off for Thanksgiving. So, I know. John, do you need a tissue?
Yes, we need the tissue already.
Okay. But just so everybody knows, we will not have a show next week, but we will see you on November 30th will be the next show. So just a reminder of that. And take it away, JL.
Okay. Well, this week, like I said before, we were thinking that we would talk about things that we are thankful for in our Disney-driven lives. And Nicole had the fabulous idea of coming up with a sort of countdown. So we all made a top 5 list of things that we're thankful for that we'll be going over this evening. And if you can think of things that you are thankful for, go ahead and pop them up in the chat room. Scott's going to be monitoring the chat tonight. And it just could be that he decides to take what you've stuck in there and insert it into our show, and we'll talk about that as well. So how about we start with you, Nicole? What is your number 5 on your top 5 list of things you're thankful for?
I'm so excited to talk about my number 5 because I didn't put them in order of like most importance. I don't know what the order is, but it's like, yeah, I guess. Okay. Anyway, so Walt is my number 5, and here's why. I'm really thankful for Walt Disney because of his business perseverance, because he had such a rocky road. And if you've seen One Man's Dream, the movie at the end, I just saw it recently, so that's where all this is coming from. I'm regurgitating. Don't judge me if you've seen it. But I love how he failed so many times, and he almost wasn't there, and he would accomplish one thing, and then something would get taken away and take him back again, whether it was funding or copyright issues or just so many obstacles that he overcame and continued to reach the pinnacle of his career, which I really think was building the theme parks, especially Walt Disney World. When I was watching that movie, he said that he wanted to build a place that parents could go with their children, because he would take his girls on the weekends, or his kids, I forget, and they would often go ride the carousel and do things around town, and he wanted to have a place for parents to spend time with their kids, and that is exactly yes, I have great times with my friends there, but the best memories that I have with my mom, we don't have the greatest relationship, but every time we go to Disney, it is just so magical, and everything's perfect, and I'm so thankful for the memories that I've had with my mom there because of Walt.
Man, we are going to need those tissues.
I'm just going to say ditto. Good night, everyone. Thank you.
How are you supposed to bring up the rear on that one?
Oh, that is so true. I love about him too that he just pursued his dream and not only accomplished it, but it even lived beyond him. He built up such a legacy that continues obviously decades and decades after he is gone, and that is quite an accomplishment. And you're talking about perseverance. I mean, it's crazy. He drove that thing to be the incredible entity that it is today that affects people globally.
I mean, every time I say, oh, okay, I'm going to Disney, like, sometimes I think in my head, wow, that was just a person's last name. Like, what if somebody's like, okay, going to Nop? Like, you know what I mean? That is just a person, but he made this whole thing, these movies, these parks, this everything that we put into that one word is Disney.
I'm going to Nop.
That is really true. I have never thought about that, but someone's last name, just the connotation of it at this point is so much more.
Very true, yeah.
How about you, John?
What's your number 5? I really did go in order of importance because...
Well, let's start with the least
Right. Because it just sounds frivolous now. I'm thankful for the Fantasyland expansion. Is that silly?
No, let's talk about it.
I'm very thankful that the park that I love is doing something that is going to be new to me and different, and I rarely get that. So every time I walk in and I see the walls and I see the digging and the cranes, I'm thankful that they're doing it for me, and I kind of personalize it. I know that sounds silly, and I kind of feel like,
it's adorable.
Listen, the day that the Little Mermaid ride is open and I walk in and I've never seen it yet, I'm going to freak out. The day that the Beast Castle is up and I can go into the Be Our Guest restaurant, I'm going to freak out. I'm thankful that there's stuff changing and going on. And
okay, Nicole, when this ride opens up, something that we have to do, we have to take John there, but before he gets to the front of the line, we have to cut up to the front, get a hold of a cast member, and somehow time it so that the cart that's coming for Joel will, for John, we'll come out with a gift tag on it that says "For John." Somehow we've got to work that into it.
I want to videotape this reaction.
Or maybe on his chair in the Be Our Guest restaurant. You know?
Yes.
Okay.
Running Sarah says we all will free John. Yeah, I know it's not just me, but it's one of the things I'm thankful for. I am.
I love it. And you know what? I actually was going to, I didn't, but I almost put that I love, one of the things I'm thankful for is that Walt Disney World changes. Because
okay.
I know that there's purists and they want it to stay the same all the time, but the truth is, we don't really want it to stay the same all the time.
Some things.
Some things
like,
we need to keep some classic elements to it, but it's a living and breathing type of thing. I mean, there's no other word for it other just this living thing, and to have it grow and change and remain relevant, so that it's meaningful for our children and our children's children. It's got to happen like that.
And especially because it's more. It is an expansion more than a change.
Right.
There is land. All that land was there.
Let's use it.
Like, what were we doing with it? I mean, it's more than just 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea.
Yeah.
It was just there waiting, and I think that's cool.
You're so right about the changing part, because that was Walt's, I mean, one of his biggest things was, we're so ahead of technology, let's show people what we can do. So for us to just stay stagnant and enjoy what was the future back then
wouldn't be in step with what his vision was.
Not at all.
Yeah. How about you, Scott?
Well, I got to tell you, I went in order as well from 5 down to 1.
Yes.
And I'm just really thankful to be going to Knob.
Just a couple more weeks.
Sorry, you don't get to go. But the chat room was saying some cool stuff. People were thankful for Mickey. There was a lot of thankfuls for Dole Whips.
And the diabetic comas they induce.
Love these people.
Oh, yeah. And Lisa Loves Walt Disney World stated that she is thankful for all of her NDPs that she knows.
Aww.
I love that girl.
So my number 5 on my list, and this should come as no surprise, really, is food in Epcot. My wife and I love to try different foods, and being able to have all of those different countries in one area and having some authentic food from each one, for me, is awesome, and I love that. And so for me, it's an honor to go in there and just try all these different things. And I'm always hopeful that they've changed the menu. You know, I'm always hopeful for what's the special today, something new, something different. And I really never get disappointed. The food there is just amazing. You know, in some of the parks, the food's just, it's okay. But in Epcot, you can really find some great foods. So I'm thankful for food in Epcot. Anybody with me there on the chat room?
I am.
I think everybody in the chat room is naming their favorite food.
What is your favorite?
Yeah,
do you have a favorite restaurant?
Said cheddar cheese soup. So.
Yeah, do you have a favorite restaurant, Scott?
You know, it's hard for me to say I do because it really depends on the moment. I really enjoy Tapanito. I like the Mexico Pavilion, but I haven't tried the new restaurant, so I'm anxious to try that. You know, I really liked France. That was nice for a romantic dinner. And I have yet to try Morocco, and we had a reservation to go last year, and we couldn't make it, or the last time we were there, and we couldn't make it to it, and I had to cancel the reservation. So I'm hoping this time when I come down, I'm going to Morocco to eat. So.
Woo! I've never been to the Morocco restaurant either, just the Tangerine Cafe.
You want to go with me?
Could happen. It totally could happen.
All right.
Yeah.
Then I can say I'm going to Knob.
Well, if we want to be very specific, technically we call our home Fort Knob, but, you know, just saying.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Good enough.
You did like the penne alla vodka at my favorite restaurant, right? The Mama Melrose.
Oh my gosh, that was so good.
Just
I
pays to mention.
didn't.
I know, Nicole didn't think it was so great.
But she didn't get it the way it was supposed to be.
She has a young palate yet.
Yeah.
She hasn't yet.
What about
She
yours?
hasn't learned to
What's
appreciate
JL's number
the
5?
pancetta.
Okay, my number 5 is a little bit sappy. I'm sorry, just all of them are sappy. But the thing that I am thankful to Disney for, actually, number 5, is what I would probably call the salvation of my childhood. I didn't really have very much positive about my childhood. I could say a lot of buzzwords that aren't family friendly as far as, things that went down in my childhood. So I won't say them, but you can use your imagination. And there are really not many good memories that I have at all of when I was little, except for the times, like what you were saying, of when I was with my family at Disney World. When we were there, I said this before, I think it was in episode 2, we were the family that we were supposed to be every day. And it was nice. It was nice for whatever reason to be there and to be able to step out of the dysfunction that surrounded us all the time. My mom was not completely... my mom was not a completely different person, but she was rather different. And it was a great experience. We were just happy to be with each other, happy to be there. And that is what I try to hold on to. When I think about my childhood, I don't really like to think about the other things because they're just not happy to think about. But that, because of those moments, and I did it often enough, that I can still look back on those days and think there was something good there. And I'm thankful to Disney for that, for being able to provide a place where even people that live in Dysfunction-Palooza can come and escape that for a little while.
Dysfunction-Palooza.
Yeah,
I love that.
I lived in Dysfunction-Palooza. But either that or my aunt calls it Dysfunction Junction. And so
I like that.
we lived in Dysfunction Junction. So probably my favorite memory was actually running off spontaneously with my cousin. We were in high school, still probably I was too young to probably do this. I shouldn't have done it. But we got in her car because she was driving age, and we just drove hours and hours to Disney World and spent the whole day there, and my parents didn't know where we were. And we chased Prince Charming around, Disney, and did all kinds of other crazy things. We didn't have to wait on parents, who were tired and needed to wait on a bench. We didn't have to worry about, whether they said we could have ice cream or not. We just did it the way we wanted to do it. And then we drove home back really, really late, and I got in trouble later on. But it was fun. It was worth it. So, yes, thank you, Disney, for saving my childhood.
Awesome.
What you said about we were the family we were supposed to be every day. Oh my gosh, you ripped my heart out. But I can really relate to that. That's special.
Yeah, I think it's probably more common than, we would normally recognize.
A few people in the chat room said you're describing their life, so it's more popular than you think.
It is. It really is. So, yeah, definitely something to be thankful to Disney for. I don't know how they've done it. I don't think that, at least I don't know anyone that would say that about other theme parks. Because, it is just a theme park.
Now, if you kept the light stuff for the 5th one, though, I'm scared of what's coming. Thank you all. Have a good night.
All right, we made it through number 5 without any tissues so far. It was a close call, but we're okay so far. Let's go to number 4.
Round 4. My round 4 is a little less sappy. I love that if somebody's on vacation and someone calls you when you're at a Disney park, it's a little different for us because we live here. But if you just say, you answer the phone and somebody says, oh, I need something from you. Oh, I'm at Disney. Oh, okay. It's like oh, you're at Disney. Okay, well, that person is busy. That's just an ultimate, you're at Disney, I'll let you go. I'm getting there. I'm getting there.
She's coming around to it.
Coming around the bend. It is my no bother zone is exactly what I have written on here, okay? Someone could be calling me for a business matter or a school project or whatever, and if I text back, hey, I'm at Disney, but I'll get back to you soon, it's oh, okay, she's off having fun. You know what I mean? Maybe not. Maybe if you own a business or something else like that, it doesn't always work for you. But it always seems to me where it's as long as I say, well, I'm actually going to be at Disney tomorrow, so I'm sorry. It's oh, okay, you're busy.
You're untouchable.
Yeah. It's okay not to answer the phone.
I'm really untouchable because I don't even have a smartphone, so I can't tweet or anything. I am unplugged.
So if you ever tell me you're at Disney, but I know you're home, then you're totally just blowing me off.
If I'm at Disney, you're probably right behind me.
In my mind. Yeah, does it count if you're at Disney in your mind?
That's still long.
No, if you're in your brain, if you're at Disney, is that still the no bother zone?
Okay.
I should say that to my kids. I'll be like, Miller, in my mind, I'm on Space Mountain. You will have to come back in a few minutes.
Then she just randomly is like, woo!
Yeah. That's so great. I actually have a really extreme example of that. And it's sad. Again, like I actually do, have happy things to say, but probably not tonight. You're talking about the no bother zone. We were on a Disney vacation. This was before we moved here. It was years ago. We were on a Disney vacation, and we got a phone call on Joel's cell, and my grandfather had passed away. Aww. And we were in line for Buzz Lightyear. And my parents were, I was kind of stunned. I knew that he was sick, but I didn't know he was going to go quite then. And, we're on the phone, and they say to me, you're at Disney, don't worry about coming home, everything's going to be taken care of, and it's fine, and, we'll talk to you when we get back. And that kind of struck me, though.
Yeah.
Because I was like, am I supposed to fly home now, or what? I'm in line for Buzz Lightyear, But, it was like what you said. They were like, we know you're on vacation, don't worry about it, we'll have the funeral and everything, but, we had visited him before we left. So in a way, we did get to say our goodbyes. But everyone in the family was okay with that. They were like, we'll just see you when you get back.
Well, somebody with a crazy sense of humor is saying to infinity and beyond means something totally different. But
I'm going to think of that fondly now when I think of my grandfather.
It's me, I'm the crazy one that's thought of it. But it's...
No, I like that.
That's what I would have said right there online.
Should we put that on your tombstone?
Absolutely.
We're going to have to save that for an episode when we talk about how to have a funeral. Epitaph? How do you have a funeral Disney style?
Is that really going to be one?
No.
We might. I don't know.
You'll be the only one to show up for that show.
No bars hold with Inner Mouse. Okay, John, how about your number 4?
My number 4, I'm thankful for the holidays. Amazing time at Disney. It changes everything in the parks. And I don't know, Nicole, do you agree?
Yes.
The parks are different now. They're totally different. Mm-hmm. The studios are different. The feeling is different. The merchandise is different. I'm thankful for this different time. It really is different.
So when you say holidays, you just mean the winter holidays, or do you mean like every holiday, 4th of July and Thanksgiving?
Well, no, mostly this
Halloween.
time. These last 2 months.
So like the Christmas holidays.
Yeah, November, December.
Okay.
It just feels different. Every park. I haven't even been to Animal Kingdom during Christmas time. I can't wait to see if anything.
Oh, I've never been. That's true.
So they have to do something.
I don't know.
Yeah,
we gotta go.
Yeah. I wonder if they make the lions wear Santa hats.
Okay, I just had an image of that.
Could happen.
Just catch that warthog with the bells on.
Do you know what, though? I learned this year when we went to the studios the other night for your birthday that I cannot probably take my children for most of the month of November because it ruins Thanksgiving. Because it's so Christmassy.
That's still part of Thanksgiving. Christmas and Thanksgiving are cousins.
You're making Thanksgiving into a pre-Christmas.
Well, we were there
Thanksgiving
the
is
other day.
Thanksgiving.
They're cousins.
Somebody
They're allowed
said
to be together.
Jail's right. Somebody said cousins are allowed to be together.
In Disney, you know what I mean.
Okay, so
Moving on.
Somebody said the other day, all these Christmas decorations make me feel like I'm cheating on Thanksgiving.
Yes.
I think we can agree.
I
It was
felt
a
that
little too
way.
early.
I felt that
Thanksgiving is just a
way.
big eating frenzy anyway.
No.
I need as much Christmas as possible, so it's okay.
Oh my.
They should really start Christmas in March. They really should.
I think it's working in that direction. No, I definitely felt like Thanksgiving was ruined this year because I went to go see the Osborne Spectacle of Lights. It's like, how can I actually focus on turkeys and pilgrims when I just stood in the middle of fake snow and 5 million twinkling lights,
Literally.
flashing everything and carousels and singing Christmas carols, and in the window of whatever street that was, they're playing Rudolph on it on the TV. It was just...
All right. And for Todd and Cheryl, we're going to also mention Hanukkah, because Todd's going to teach us all about Hanukkah.
Yes. There's a dreidel on the Osborne Light Street.
There's a Jewish balcony.
Yes.
Todd's going to teach us how to play
And a
dreidel
Kwanzaa balcony.
also.
Yes, we're going to Todd's Hanukkah party. It's going to be great fun. I've never been to a Hanukkah party before.
I heard he built a huge menorah, and we all have a spot to sit on a candle, and he turns it on, and it's great.
Can I choreograph it?
Fantastic. All right, Scott, what about your number 4?
Well, I don't know. That chicken was so there. So, I have to just jump in here with a great chat on the chat room here from Tim Weston. He said, "This seems like the Inner Mouse After School Special." Sorry.
Is that all we're good for?
Tim, did you like After School Specials?
Please say yes.
I love them.
Is that Lou here? Hello, Lou.
Wait, is Lou back again?
Back again.
Listen,
We didn't scare you off last time?
He's just ready for punishment. That's all.
Okay.
Okay, well, my number 4 for this week is movies and music. For me, I'm very thankful for the Disney movies and music. And just, that hit me hard this last couple weeks because of my father being in the hospital. But I swear every night this week I get home and I've been watching a Disney movie because it just puts me in a much better mood. 2 nights ago I watched Little Mermaid. Last night I watched Peter Pan. And Peter Pan is one of my favorites. So it always just, I don't know, it puts me in a different place. And that's where I need to be instead of in the bad place. So I'm in the car and I'm listening to Pandora and I'm listening to Disney music and things. And John, I'm going to put you on the spot here. What is your favorite song from The Little Mermaid?
Under the Sea.
What?
Is it Under the Sea?
Yeah.
Okay. You know what's crazy for me? Every time I watch the movie, I love the song with the chef in the kitchen.
Oh, Zotero, I have missed one. I cut off his head and I pull out the bones. Yes, I do like that song. But is there a name to it? I don't even know the name. Les Poissons, Les Poissons. Oh, my succulent crab.
So that right there
In
is
the sauce.
really good. So.
Just a dash. I remember
And it's
that
going to
now.
be hot?
In my big silver pot.
Scott, you are so right. And I came close to picking movies as one of mine, too. Because, yeah, there are days when you're going through really hard stuff that it's very easy to go to the bad place. And they're so good for lifting you out of that, either because they show how people overcome great obstacles. They're just inspirational, and they're a fantastic distraction. And when I'm done watching one, especially if it's one that has to do with a princess, I always, kind of go into princessy mode in my mind afterwards, and then I can float around the room and wave like this, and it's
Okay, wait,
really
that was
good.
the end of Captain EO. Remember?
Yes. Oh my gosh, that is.
So if they have a remake, I'll audition.
Okay.
I'll do that. Can I do that part?
Oh my
too?
gosh, what did she say?
You think me beautiful?
That was good.
Gosh.
Thank you, Lou. So
Love it.
I do agree. It helps recreate that, that place that we go to when we're at Disney, where we feel like, the harsh realities of life can't touch us. It helps. Those are especially powerful things for helping us recreate them at home. So I totally hear you on that. Okay, I guess I'll go with my number 4. All right, sorry guys. Again, sappy. They're all sappy. Just bear with me. Okay.
Well, what are you doing? Come on.
I've had a rough life. Okay, so I'm sorry.
We have to do the doctor again. Let me hear number 4 on your list.
Number 4.
What is it? Yeah. Think back. Go back.
Number 4
Is, hold on, let me see your notes.
the thing that I'm thankful to Disney for is that it got my family to vacation again.
Aww.
And I have to explain this. Okay, when my youngest Ellie got very sick, she was sick for a number of years, and we also found out that my other 2 children had the same condition. And I know a lot of people ask questions, so I'll just say it. They are heavy metal toxic, and that affects a lot of things. For them, it affects them primarily digestively, but it affects a lot of other things health-wise. So we were very tied to our kitchen for years. They were on a diet where everything had to be made from scratch. And by that, I mean everything. If it didn't come out of someone's garden, then it was definitely a problem. I actually used to even go to someone's house to get raw goat milk because, you know, we couldn't do pasteurized stuff. Don't tell me because that's illegal. Anyway, the point was, when you have such a diet that is so high maintenance, you cannot really leave your kitchen because you can't really go anywhere these days and have that type of food accessible to you. You know, everything's McDonald's or prepackaged or processed or something.
Preach.
Yes. So I was really tied to the kitchen, and after years and years and years of this, I actually was paralyzed by fear to leave our home more than 12 hours because, you know, I had to make it, and it was always perishable, and it would last for a certain amount of time, and then we had to be back at home to be able to do it all over again. I think I probably would have stayed paralyzed by that fear if it weren't for my intense neurotic desire to be at Disney World. That was the only thing that eventually got me to say, no, this has to work, because I was very happy living in this bubble, if that is what, you know, meant safety for my children, and for many years it did. But then, you know, after a while I thought, if living in this bubble means that Mickey has to be on the outside, then it's time for the bubble to pop. So, I was finally able, when we found out about DVC with the villas, with the kitchen in it, I was willing to try and venture out, you know, doing the vacation thing again. And that, we've been doing it ever since, because I got there. Again, we didn't do too much vacationing like you would think of. We only went to a park for one day, and we stayed in the villa a lot because I had to stay very close to the kitchen. But it was so great for my family, after years of not leaving home, to finally go somewhere else, you know, get away, you know, to a certain extent, be somewhere different, be somewhere that the kids loved, had activities, fun things around them, and we were all happy again. And if it hadn't been for Disney, I really just don't know that I would have been motivated to take a risk like that. So, thank you, Disney.
So glad Nicole comes after yours.
Do I take you to the sad place?
No. It's a good place. It's a good place. It's good that you found that comfort. It's very interesting.
That is really special too.
My next one just wouldn't fit right after that. So
okay. Number 3.
Well, following a hard one. Thrills for me. When I am on the rock and roller coaster, or when you're like on the Tower of Terror, right when it goes before it drops you and you're like, you know, out of your skin.
Yeah.
Or when you're on Everest and you're going backwards at that, you know, like 65 mile an hour, it probably doesn't go that fast.
Goes up on its side a little bit.
Yes, and you're just like, you know, it's like an out-of-body experience. And when you're, I mean, I could continue to go on. The thrill of the rides is, I'm so thankful for it, because there have been times, especially the rock and roller coaster, I don't know why, that first takeoff in the beginning, I could be so stressed out or have so many things going on in my mind, and if I'm just on one of those rides, it's like nothing else is wrong. All that matters is that I'm having so much dang fun right now that I couldn't care less if, you know, whatever else is going on in the world. So that's one thing that I'm really thankful for. I mean, I'll get off the rock and roller coaster sometimes and just be like, I want to live in Orlando forever. And then I remember that, you know, that may not be a possibility and I need to do other things in life besides just go on rides. But for those couple of minutes...
Who says?
You're right.
Who's making those rules? That's not a Disney-driven life principle.
Okay, let's burn my college degree. It's fine. No, just kidding, kids. Go to college.
Yeah.
Stay in school.
School is cool.
John?
Okay, don't laugh. I'm thankful for Vinylmation. I really am. Let me explain why.
Sorry.
Let me explain why. And I know that Dennis will back me up, and Don and a couple of others. Elantrice, if she's still here, will back me up. I used to collect pins, and I still do. But I find, like, you know, I had to keep it to like a peep pin or something in order to not go broke. But Vinylmations really ignited something creative inside of me, that I appreciated this silly little piece of plastic that is Mickey's, figure shape that is done up in these creative ways. And it got me, and I didn't think it would bite me the way it did. It did. My butt is bit. And that's a hard bite. And I love Vinylmations. I love Vinylholics Anonymous. I need that. I just love seeing what's new, what's coming out. I'm excited about it. It'll never end. There's too many of them. I could never have them all, but I love it.
It's the creativity of it.
It's a little bit thing.
It's a little bit different than a pin. I mean, obviously you can do anything with a pin, but there is something about working within a certain framework, and then just having the possibilities be endless, even though you're working within that framework.
Right, and then it's surpassed everything you could think of, as far as you think, okay, you could do a character, so the eyes will be different, but then they'll have the clock from the Haunted Mansion on Mickey, and it's like, oh, I never thought of that. So I bought a bunch of Sharpies, 100 different colored Sharpies, and I bought a blank one, and I'm going to try to do one.
You're going to design your own Vinylmation?
I'm going to design my own Vinylmation.
I really want him to do the mom from Tangled, Mother Gothel. We're obsessed
I
with
may
her.
have to be a little more abstract at first until I know what I'm doing, but I am a vinyl addict, and I stand up and I'm counted.
Are you going to do a little one or a big one?
I'm going to do a little one, because the big one I don't think I would have enough Sharpie. And they did have one in New York City, the Minnie Mouse that was the Statue of Liberty. So I love all that stuff.
I think that's a wonderful...
I'm thankful that they came up with something that got me.
I'm glad too.
Thank you.
You're thankful for your addictions.
They're thankful for my credit card.
They're thankful for your credit card. You're thankful for your addictions.
There's a marathon vinyl.
We don't want to go to rehab.
If there are race vinyls, I'm on it.
There will be. I'm sure of it.
Seriously. I bet you.
They even have Adventurers Club vinyls, which is what tells me is Disney smacking me in the face going, we closed it, but it's so wonderful. Look, we have a vinyl for you.
Maybe it's foreshadowing.
I don't know. Maybe.
Unless it's an Extinct Attraction series.
It is. Well, they shouldn't do that then. That's like they do. They have a Mr. Toad vinyl too, so they play with my brain.
Oh, that's toying with your heart.
Yes.
Scott, how about you?
Well, John, I got to say, a lot of the chat room agreed with you about the vinyls, and they also love the fact that you got bit in the butt. So,
thank you.
People love to see John in pain, I guess.
Love it.
We'll make it a permanent segment. John in pain. I got to say that Nicole took mine, sort of, my number 3.
Oh, she stole your thing.
Which is the rides at Disney World. But not so much. She kind of, she was talking about the thrill rides more. But mine's more of just the rides in general, and the fact of when you get on them, Disney has done such a great job of immersing you in something, and whatever it is, that, it totally takes you away. And for that brief, minute and a half ride or whatever, you really feel like you're somewhere else for a few minutes. And I'm thankful for that. And John, you owe me a ride when I come down on Haunted Mansion. I want to ride with you.
You got it.
All right, my friend.
Say you owe me a ride from the airport.
So that's.
I also owe you a ride from your place to Inner Mouse.
Yes.
I thought you were going to say he owes you a ride from the airport to the place you're renting.
No, since I'm driving.
Ooh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Somebody told me I was nuts earlier on the chat room, and they're probably right. Yeah.
Yep, that's why you're counted. So I have to ask you and
also
Nicole.
That's what makes me a neurotic Disney individual. So.
Yep. So you and Nicole both should tell us, what are your favorite rides?
Wow, too many to mention. I mean, lately it's been, just because of the situation I've been going through, there was a point where, and I told some of the people this, not to get all sappy, pull out your tissues. I was sitting next to my dad's hospital bed, and he was sedated, and he had all the tubes and the ventilators and everything, and it was just horrible. And my mom had left for a few minutes, and I was just sitting there with him, and I was holding his hand, and I was just feeling so bad, and I was feeling I just wanted to cry, and it was just bad. And at that moment, I didn't know if we were going to have him anymore or not. And I closed my eyes, and it was weird because I pictured myself getting onto the pirate ship and heading in through the bedroom window and going out across London and then across to the island. And, when I opened my eyes back up, I felt so much better. So that ride to me right now has kind of been the one that's kind of helped me get through some of this, which is kind of cool and crazy. But I know that when I come down for the Inner Mouse meet, the first park I want to go to is Magic Kingdom, and that's the first ride I want to hit. So
We can do that.
I'll do that for sure.
Okay, good.
Are you crying?
No. Almost.
He gets me because I don't expect it from him.
Oh,
I
Scott.
need to have those tissues.
Sorry.
What about you, Nicole? What is your favorite ride, going back to yours?
Well, I go through phases, and right now my favorite is a tie between Toy Story Mania and Soarin'. I just love them. And I'm really scared of Soarin' because I feel like I'm going to fall off. Come on, people. If you have slippery pants, and it kind of like leans forward
Nicole,
a little.
I do have to hold her in.
He literally,
Right,
his
this
arm
is
was
when,
like this.
they have the thing you can pull up between your legs.
I put it. I
All
do the
right.
kid strap, but I'm still scared as heck. But I love it.
So
a good one.
Soren and
Toy Story Mania.
Toy Story
Because
Mania.
I dominated John and Todd.
She's totally lying.
I was
And I have the
like, is
pictures
this a
to
true
prove it.
story?
They think our goal is to make them cry, these guests.
And I'm going to beat Matt Hotchberg like someone just said in the chat.
Ooh.
This is a total joke. I'm awful at the game. I just like to talk
Yeah,
smack.
she does
But-
talk smack.
I'll take you all.
Thank you all on. Oh, that's so fantastic. You know what? I actually forgot one part of my last thing that I was thankful for when I was saying that my family could vacation again. There was this one moment in 2 years ago when we were staying at the beach club, and we sat down for our meal, because we still made most of our meals. And we had Miller say the blessing over our lunch. And I was not expecting this, but as we were as he was praying, he said, "Dear God, thank you so much for Walt Disney himself for making this wonderful place that families could come to enjoy and be with one another." And I just thought I was going to bust out crying right over my little wrap that we were going to eat. It was
Miller said that?
Yes, Miller, coming from my boy, my big boy that's
Miller's got a big heart. He really
too cool
does.
for everyone. It was a moment. So, all right, my number 3.
Holding back.
Okay, my number 3. I am thankful to Disney because I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I'm just going to say it. It's sappy as sappy can be. But I am thankful to Disney for giving me something to laugh about when I just wanted to cry. And this ties in a little bit to the story that I was telling you before. And that goes back to the darkest time in my life when we first found out that Ellie was sick. We found out she was heavy metal toxic, and it was very serious. I was told she was going to be brain damaged. And there wasn't much that there wasn't anything that the doctor that we were seeing at that time wanted to do about it. My entire world was turned upside down, financially, emotionally, socially. It was flip-flopped, and it was very dark, and it was hard for me to see past that for many years. And there really was years that I just didn't smile. I mean, hardly at all, because everything was just so hard and so heavy. But like I said, we eventually came to a point where I just kind of stepped out and said, we're going to have this Disney vacation. And we went on it, and then joined the Disney Vacation Club because of the kitchens. And I began to write that trip report that spurred on the Disney Driven Life. And while I was writing that report, something very therapeutic happened inside me, because that trip that we took was so crazy with me and my neurotic self and the things that, I put my family through on that vacation in order to do Disney the way that, I thought it should be done. And as I was going back and recalling all of the things that happened to us, I just I would laugh. I would make myself laugh. You know, I'd write it down, I'd go through the story, and I would read it, and I would crack myself up. I know that sounds ridiculous, but I did, and it felt so good, because when you've been so sad and so heavy for that long of a time, when you do laugh, there's just this huge release that happens, and emotionally it was completely therapeutic, and that's how I think I managed to get through a 90-something page trip report.
Wow.
Because it was like a therapy session for me. So, again, that was as a result of Disney, where I just was so heavy and down and didn't really feel like I had that much to be happy about for years. And because of Disney, I had this breakthrough where I was able to lay hold of something once again in my life where I could be happy, I could laugh. There was something joyful in my life. All right, sorry. I know it's just going to be, yeah.
It just shows why you're so Disney neurotic and Disney-fied, and it's so...
It's more than a vacation to me.
Yeah, of course. It's deep. It's deep.
It definitely ties into my family's story in a huge way and in a good way. So I'm very thankful for that. Okay, moving on. Number 2.
Wait, do we go Scott?
Yeah.
Oh, no, that's right. Nicole comes after your sadness.
Well, Scott.
In a good way.
Scott
Let me try to recover here with Nicole. Here we go.
Well, me and Scott had the same one before, and now we have the same one again. I have movies at home as my number 2. Well, I can just remember, it's like phase after phase with me. When I was little, I was a complete tomboy, and if you know me, you might be like, what? But I was like a chubby little girl. I could show you pictures. And I had like an Aladdin bedspread, Aladdin Velcro sneakers, and, Peter Pan and The Jungle Book. Those were like my movies. Like, that was it. There was no princess. It was like I would go outside and play like Mowgli.
I'm speechless right now.
You wouldn't think. So then as I got a little bit older, actually when I got into high school is when I really started liking the princess.
Wait, back up a minute. So you didn't even play the little girl that Mowgli finds at the end of the story who's fetching the water? You were Mowgli?
Well, I was probably the girl because I had this little neighbor boyfriend and he probably wouldn't be the girl. So, yeah. It was just, I would always play like the adventurous, like boy type things. And it was always like, it was more just, it wasn't about being a boy. It was like, I wanted to play the fun adventure things. And I'd be like tree climbing and it would be like, and then Toy Story, when that came out, it was over. Toy Story was it. I don't know. It was just the boy and the adventure and the fun, crazy stuff for me. It was never like, ooh, I'm a princess. Like, yeah, I'm sure I played dress up and stuff, but I loved the adventure stuff. And then as I got older, like in high school and stuff, I started to love the princesses. And it's like...
You went to the other extreme.
Yes. I'm the complete other extreme right now. I'm a pink, fluffy, sparkly, girly girl, and I love all the princess
You're
stuff.
more girly than I am.
I didn't know my best friend used to be a fat guy. I'm just learning this now. That's basically what she said. She was a fat little tomboy. Really? No, I'm kidding.
I'm just going to bust out some pictures and make you be like...
We already got them, Keith. Pictures, put them up.
No, but
This is your life. With Inner Mouse.
Well, like Scott said, really just the movies can take you out of anything or like, put you into the mood you want to be in, or there's so many Disney movies I have that if I watch it, it takes me back to a certain time period or just reminds me of the ride or just a restaurant that's like it. And, it's just about so many of those movies to me are about just celebrating life.
Yes.
And the messages that are in them and stuff. And like, yeah, it's about Disney and the theme park and the cartoony stuff. But the people that, the blind, they don't get that it's about like a lifestyle of enjoyment and happiness and overcoming obstacles and John stealing ideas and writing them.
No.
It's just the message behind so many of the theory of Disney and the company and everything that they produce.
I agree. Heartily. How about you, John? What's your number 2?
Did we skip Scott or we did that?
He comes after you.
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm out of it. My number 2 is going to be Inner Mouse.
Really?
I am. I'm very thankful for you guys. I'm not going to get sappy because that's saved for my number one. But honestly, come on. I'm sitting here. There's 50 people watching. That 60 people.
It's a
We
record.
broke our record.
We hit 61.
That
61.
felt that we were
62 right
friends enough with you guys to sit here and give up an hour of your time, which we know is not, time is valuable and you have a lot of other things you could do. And that is an honor for us. And I really know that I speak for everyone. It makes us feel great. It makes me feel so happy that just to share parts of ourselves with you and to get it from you also. I know many of you personally. Can't wait to hang out with all of you. I am very thankful for that.
We love you. It's true.
It is true. I'm sure we
I
probably...
could
Nobody else had
easily
that on there?
get-
Come on. I think you
Well,
all...
I haven't gotten to my number one.
Okay.
Don't steal the
But
thunder.
yes, Inner Mouse. That is a really, really good one, John.
It's true, though. Very true.
Now I feel like a big jerk. I was like, rides and movies.
No, I have that too. Come on, I have Vinyl Nation. Come on.
She's still in touch with her tomboy. We got to get you back in touch with the
Oh my gosh, not anymore.
the softie. Where's your sentimental side?
I had a couple.
Oh, okay.
I got a good one coming.
Okay. Scott, number 2.
Well, I just switched mine to Inner Mouse. Yeah.
That's okay. You can do that.
Wow, love them.
Real quick, Lynn had asked on the chat room how to get a hold of each one of us, and we each have email addresses. Just put our first name and then at innermouse.com, like Scott at innermouse.com. My number 2 is memories from Disney. They mean a lot to me, and I thought I'd share one memory with you guys. It was the first time I ever went to Disney with children because my wife and I don't have children. And we went with Peggy's youngest brother who had, at the time he had 2 children. He now has 4. But he had 2 children and we went with the 2 girls. And the oldest girl just was clung to Peggy and I the whole time. And it was her first time at Disney. And we went into Magic Kingdom and she was dressed as a princess. And we were going to go do the princess breakfast in the castle. And she was just ecstatic. And the whole time she was holding my wife's hand in my hand. And she was just talking and talking and talking. And, oh my gosh, it is so beautiful and all this stuff. We got up to the castle and she just stopped and stared in awe and just looked up at this magnificent castle and was just blown away. And I'm looking at her and I'm getting all welled up because I'm thinking, yeah, this is how I feel all the time, And we go in and she's saying to me the whole time, well, when I meet Ariel, I'm going to say this. And when I meet Jasmine, I'm going to say this and all these things. And we got in there to breakfast and all the princesses come in and she just looks in like this. And she won't say a word. They're all coming over and talking to her. They're like, Princess, you look so beautiful. What's your name? And she's... It was nothing. And then as soon as they all left, she got her picture taken. As soon as they all left, she goes, Uncle Scott, did you see? I met Snow White. And so we started into it all again. And it was a beautiful, wonderful experience for me. And I have a picture to show you guys. And I'm sorry for the people that are only listening to the audio version of this, but it's a picture of my niece with Peggy and I. And I don't know, hopefully you can see it. Maybe not.
Who took that from behind like that?
It was Peg's brother took it.
Oh, that's great.
I love those
I like
kind of
that
pictures,
kind of- yeah.
walking from the behind with the castle and stuff. And the little dress. She's
I hope
adorable.
that you're going to upload that into the Disney Memory site.
Okay.
Oh, yeah,
okay.
that's true, to be projected on the castle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It means a lot to me because it just brings back some great memories. And I thought, wow, if any of our other nieces and nephews, if they haven't been, I've got to go for the first time. So I got to go with my brother and his whole family for the first time with them. And it was just as magical of an experience for me. This one just hit me hard because it was the first one. So
That's so cool. All right, my number 2 is going to sound a little bit hokey. I'm sorry. I'm just going to apologize for every single thing I say. But
Own it.
okay, so number 2 is I'm thankful to Disney for helping me to discover who I am. And what I mean by that is before I started blogging about Disney and before I discovered crazy enough, the moms panel, I didn't really know that much about myself or what I really wanted out of life. And so as I'm going through this journey right now, I'm learning a lot about myself in the process. I'm learning about my strengths. I'm learning about my weaknesses. I'm still defining my dream and trying to still figure out exactly what it is that I want in life. But this path that I've started down with Disney and whatever it is going to end up being, it's evolving, but it's this thing of pursuing a dream and going after it. And I'm learning that, hey, I've kind of got stick-to-itiveness, you know? And that's kind of cool. And I've been faced with a lot of challenges and obstacles along the way. Some of them have been actually very difficult. And just the fact that I've been able to work through them, or I am still working through them and working to overcome them, it's neat to learn more about myself, and that's something else that Disney has brought into my life. Yeah, that's kind of, you know, the basis of it. I'm just kind of excited about learning who I am through this process, and the fact that I just didn't know I had it in me, you know? Coming up to meeting challenges, hitting them head on, you know, like I have in different respects. So, again, thank you, Disney. The end. Number 1.
Once upon a time. Well, if that was the end.
Okay, we're up to the number 1s.
Yep,
oh,
number
boy.
1.
Thank you all. Have a good night.
Number 1. Get your Kleenex. Okay, no, number 1 for me is friends with a little heart around it. And, you know, that's just one word, but it means so many different things. It just, you know, I met Chris Topher at American Idol auditions last year, and just happened to see that he went into Disney Dream Depot chat one night, and it said, it tweeted out the link, so I clicked on it, and then from that, it was just snowball. I mean, that wasn't even a year ago. And I have met hundreds and hundreds of people. Like, everyone makes fun of me because people come down on vacation and I'm in everyone's vacation photos. But these are people that I talk to, like, every day online. And I always say that I have all my friends in my pocket because I just take my phone out and everyone's always there on Twitter. And I sound like such an uber nerd right now. But I don't even care because I don't have a whole lot of friends that are... Wow, this is such a pity party tonight. I don't mean to say it like that, but I think you just have, like, this different bond with people that, like, my scrapbooking friends. My running friends. Yeah, Disney.
Yeah.
Disney is so much more because it's, like, theme parks and movies, and there's Disney scrapbooking and Disney running. It's, like, every aspect of life that I like, there's something Disney about it.
It's a lifestyle.
Yes, and there is a Disney friend, like, I have... like Court, she loves running. She loves Disney. We love Disney running. I have people that love scrapbooking and Disney. We have that together. I mean, there's something of every aspect in life that I have a friend that I've either met from Twitter or from mutual friends that also enjoys that in the Disney way. And it's like, wow, this is like 2 awesome things that we have in common. And now our friendship can grow from that and just...
And it's changed your life, hasn't it?
It really has. And not to mention that, you know, I have my friend... John, who I hang out with all the time. Like, my whole life has changed just from clicking one little link, and
we're gonna start crying, guys, for real.
Okay, no crying, but being invited to be here with you guys and do this every week is, I can't even explain how much of an honor that it is, and we've made such great friendships from it. But aside from that, okay, I need to just stop. Anyways, Friends is my number 1.
Disney Friends.
Disney Friends.
Woo. Take it, John.
Okay, my number 1 kind of goes with yours and finding yourself and everything. Okay, how do I say this without getting too dramatic? Because it made sense, like, in the middle of the night when I came up with it, and now it doesn't make quite as much sense. But my number 1 thing for being thankful for is getting it. And what I mean by that is I turned 39 this week. So I'm a year older now than when you previously came to Inner Mouse, if you did come last time. And in that time, I've reflected a little bit, and I realized I feel like I get the meaning of life, like an epiphany. And listen, it's kind of silly, I know.
No, I want to hear this.
It's not about how many Vinyl-mations you have, although that's very important. It's really about relationships and friends and connections that you make, and the way people touch your heart, and the way you touch other people's lives. And when those people are able to make you a better person, I got it. I feel like I got it. And I think that's what life's about. And I think we all will come up with this at some point, that we felt like we got this meaning. And I don't think you can just get it from somebody saying it. I think you have to, it clicks in your brain. I think that's what I'm getting from all this, all these friends, all this stuff that goes on. Charles Aguillon. I know I'm going to miss a bunch of people. Don Duckman, Todd Perlmutter, Cheryl, everybody, Chris, Nicole, you, Scott. These connections with everybody, they're more important than any tangible, collectible object. And that's what I got. That realization. That doesn't mean Vinyl-mations aren't important.
Do you want to share my cupcake with me?
You too, Leah. Mwah.
I have a bite of
Wow.
my baby cake just for you.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Scott.
Okay. Well, mine's friends too. Really. Actually, mine's pocket friends.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, Nicole. I thought that was awesome. Pocket friends. Sorry. Actually, seriously, mine was friends, and I know we're running out of time here because Keith keeps popping that up on there. But just quickly, I've made friends through this that I'm surprised that I've made, and people that seem to get my obsession with things that I love and adore, and I've made such wonderful friends. And I think what's amazing too is that, you know, I was going through a rough spell these last few weeks, and people that I've never met, that I just chat with, or that come to our show, have been so nice to me. And, you know, you'd think, you know, oh, they'll forget next week. They'll forget that my dad was in the hospital. They're asking me this week, how's your dad doing? Is he getting any better? Blah, blah, blah. Is he out of ICU? You know, these kinds of things. And it just blows me away. And I feel blessed beyond belief to have the opportunity to meet all of you people and get to know you. And I'm so looking forward to our Inner Mouse meet. And I'm very thankful for that, because I'm hoping to give out a ton of hugs to a lot of people that I haven't met yet. And so that's what I'm thankful for.
I think this is so interesting because basically we may have used different words, pocket friends or relationships or just regular friends, to all come to the same conclusion for our number one. Because
And it's important that people know that we did not discuss.
we did not plan this.
No, we discuss a framework, but we don't discuss.
We don't have our discussion fully ahead of time. And so when we said in our planning last night, just everyone come with your top 5 and we'll discuss it right there live on camera. We did not know what we were going to come with tonight. And my number one is basically the same thing with a different word, and that's community. There's something about the Disney community that is truly breathtaking. Oh, gosh. Where are the tissues? In the last couple years that I've really dove into this and been able to get to know a lot of you, it really takes my breath away when I think about it, because I have never met a group of people that are more diverse, more creative, more generous. You inspire me in a lot of ways. You are a support system to me, and obviously to the rest of us at Team Inner Mouse. I'm at a loss for words. Over the last couple of years, I've gone through some very difficult things, and you guys have been there for me. That was never spoken to me more clearly than just a few weeks ago when I got dropped from the Moms Panel race. You all know how much it meant to me, and even though that's kind of silly in the real world, you all got it. You all got it, you got it, and you were there for me, and that touched me in a way that I really am unable to express. And then also in the good times, the support system. I was blown away today, my birthday, when I got up and turned on my computer at 8 a.m. after it only being shut down for 8 hours, because I was literally on the computer till 11 or 12 last night. So when I shut it down and it got back up again at 8 and turned it on, there were already over 300 emails just from Facebook alone in my inbox. And then I was swamped with Twitter until 12:31 this afternoon, just trying to catch up with Twitter with, happy birthday wishes. And some of you all just have said the most touching things, the most creative things. You guys make me laugh. You make me cry. I just go through the whole gamut of emotions, and I'm so thankful to Disney for bringing people like you into my life. My best friends, I can honestly say my best friends currently come from the Disney community, and that is really something incredible when you think about it, especially because I haven't even met half of you, but I'm just blown away by it. I love it that I'm not embarrassed anymore about my fascination with the Disney brand, and that I don't have to, turn all colors of red when I talk about my neurotic Disney life or the Sacred Seven or whatever, because you all get me. And for whatever the reason is, the common ground that we hold is able to cross, gender, race, age, worldviews, personality types. And to me, that is a really beautiful thing. And I don't know why Disney is able to accomplish that for us, but it just is. And that is what I am, my number one thing that I am most thankful for, that Nicole is most thankful for, that John is most thankful for, that Scott is most thankful for. And we really want to take it to you and thank you for doing that for us.
I can't believe how that all came together
I know,
on its own.
Really kind of cool.
Wow.
2 quick points, because I see a lot of discussion, Scott, in the chat room about the time of the Inner Mouse meet. I just want to mention that it's not so much a time change as much as it is an extension. Really, it was from 3 to 4, and correct me if I'm wrong, and it's now basically 2 to 4.
Yeah.
Just to get in some of the people that we might have missed. So if you still were planning on 3, you're okay. Not to take away from what you just said. That's so true.
But we do hope that you show up at 2.
Because
Because
to get the prizes,
the giveaways that we're having are first come, first get. So, Sunset Lounge, 2 p.m., December 5th. See you there. With that, I think we will go ahead and start with our shout-outs for the week.
And I'm thankful to that James Moore, who's always here and giving great advice. He said you do so much more than the Moms panel than you'll ever know.
Shouting out to the NDP community today. We have NDD number 25, Nick P. in Indiana.
Hi, Nick.
NDD number 26, Ryan R. in Texas. Hi, Ryan. NDI number 27, Jennifer G. in Kansas. Hi, Jennifer. NDI number 28, Nolan W. in Tennessee.
Hi, Nolan.
NDK number 27, Jack R. in Texas. Hi, Jack. NDK number 28, Riley R. in Texas.
Hi,
Riley.
NDM number,
Jack and Riley.
Jack and Riley. NDM number 56, DDE in New York. Hi,
Dee.
NDM number 57, Anissa A. in Pennsylvania.
Hi,
Anissa. NDM number 58, Pam R. in Pennsylvania. Hi, Pam. NDM number 59, Lind K. in Pennsylvania.
Hi,
Lind. NDM number 60, Michelle D. in Massachusetts.
Hi, Michelle.
NDM number 61, Joy B. in Alabama.
Hi, Joy.
NDH number 23, Scott N. in Pennsylvania.
Hi, Scott.
NDH number 24, Matt H. in Florida.
Hi, Matt.
NDM number 62, Jan B. in Alabama.
Hi, Jan.
NDM number 63, Sherry P. in Michigan.
Hi, Sherry.
NDM number 64, Kelly W. in New Hampshire.
Hi, Kelly.
NDM number 65, Denise S. in Pennsylvania.
Hi, Denise.
NDM number 66, Candy M. in Florida.
Hi, Candy.
NDM number 67, Jen L. in Connecticut.
Hey, Jen.
Hi, Jen. We are so glad that you decided to stand up and be counted. If you too want a position on the NDP roster, please write to us at becounted@thedisneydrivenlife.com. We need your first name, your last initial, your home state, your Twitter handle if you have one, and be sure to let us know if you want to be a mom, dad, husband, wife, auntie, uncle, grandmom, granddad, individual, teen, kid, or if you're a critter. We hope to hear from you soon. Till next time, live the life.
Thanks, guys.
Bye. Whole thing, these movies, these parks, this everything that we put into that one word is Disney.
I'm going to knock.
That is really true. I have never thought about that, but someone's last name, just the connotation of it at this point is so much more.
Very true, yeah.
How about you, John?
All right, mine kind of, okay, I really did go in order of importance because...
Well, let's start with the least
Right. Because it just sounds frivolous now. I'm thankful for the Fantasyland expansion. Is that silly?
No, let's talk about it.
I'm very thankful that the park that I love is doing something that is going to be new to me and different, and I rarely get that. So every time I walk in and I see the walls and I see the digging and the cranes, I'm thankful that they're doing it for me, and I kind of personalize it. I know that sounds silly. And I kind of feel like,
it's adorable.
Listen, the day that the Little Mermaid ride is open and I walk in and I've never seen it yet, I'm going to freak out. The day that the Beast Castle is up and I can go into the Be Our Guest restaurant, I'm going to freak out. I'm thankful that there's stuff changing and going on. And
okay, Nicole, when this ride opens up, something that we have to do, we have to take John there, but before he gets to the front of the line, we have to cut up to the front, get a hold of a cast member, and somehow time it so that the cart that's coming for for John will come out with a gift tag on it that says for John. Somehow. We've got to work that into it somehow.
I want to videotape this reaction.
Or maybe on his chair in the Be Our Guest restaurant, you know?
Yes.
Okay.
Running Sarah says we all will freak out. Yeah, I know it's not just me, but it's one of the things I'm thankful for. I am.
I love it. And you know what? I actually was going to, I didn't, but I almost put that I love, one of the things I'm thankful for is that Walt Disney World changes. Because okay. I know that
if you've seen it, but I love how he he failed so many times and he almost wasn't there, and he would accomplish one thing and then something would get taken away and take him back again, whether it was funding or copyright issues or just so many obstacles that he overcame and continued to reach the pinnacle of his career, which I really think was building the theme parks, especially Walt Disney World. When I was watching that movie, he said that he wanted to build a place that parents could go with their children, because he would take his girls on the weekends, or his kids, I forget, and they would often go ride the carousel and do things around town, and he wanted to have a place for parents to spend time with their kids, and that is exactly yes, I have great times with my friends there, but the best memories that I have with my mom, we don't have the greatest relationship, but every time we go to Disney, it is just so magical, and everything's perfect, and I'm so thankful for the memories that I've had with my mom there because of Walt.
Man, we are going to need those tissues.
I'm just going to say ditto. Good night, everyone. Thank you.
How are you supposed to bring up the rear on that one?
Oh, that is so true. I love about him too that he just pursued his dream and not only accomplished it, but it even lived beyond him. You know, he built up such a legacy that continues obviously decades and decades after he is gone, and that is quite an accomplishment. And you're talking about perseverance. I mean, it's crazy. He drove that thing to be the incredible entity that it is today that affects people globally.
I mean, every time I say, oh, okay, I'm going to Disney, sometimes I think in my head, wow, that was just a person's last name. What if somebody's like, okay, going to Nop? You know what I mean? That was just a person, but he made this.
Living the life around the world. It's time for Inner Mouse, your Disney lifestyle destination with Scott, JL, Nicole, and John. Oh boy! Ha! Gosh!
Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Inner Mouse, the vidcast for people who are striving to lead a Disney-driven life. I'm JL from the DisneyDrivenLife.com. With me here tonight are John, columnist for the Disney Food Blog, Scott from the CollectTheMouse.com, and Nicole, neurotic Disney individual extraordinaire.
Hi.
We have a great episode in store for you tonight. Since we're hitting the Thanksgiving season, we thought we would talk about things that we are thankful for concerning Disney. But before we get into all that, we do have some mousekeeping to take care of, so go ahead and take it, Scott.
Why, thank you, JL. One of the biggest things today is that today is our beloved JL's birthday. She turns 20 today. 23. Beautiful. Love it.
Absolutely. Same age as me next week.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. One of the big things is we told you guys all about our meetup on December 5th, and we'd love you to come there. It's at the Jumbo House, and we'll be in the Sunset Lounge. But we changed the time on you, and I apologize for that, but it was 3. We are now 2 o'clock. So 2 o'clock, just 1 hour earlier. So please come by and join us, and there will be some giveaways. Quantities are limited on the giveaways, so we hope we have enough for everybody, but we'll see what happens. Episode 12 is now up on iTunes and on the Disney Driven Life. So if you missed episode 12, just log in and check it out. As always, we have our email here at Inner Mouse. So if you guys have questions, comments, if you just want to send us love
For uploading a picture to our site, and it has to be a fun themed picture, either like something team in training or Thanksgiving or just you in your running clothes, something that will entertain us. So, and they will win. The winner gets a $25 gift card. So you can find more on the link that Tim will maybe post for us again in the chat.
We
Awesome.
want to be entertained.
And Katie would like to give $2.
Yes?
I missed one thing. Sorry.
Go to it.
Just to remind everybody, next week we are not going to have a show next week. We're off for Thanksgiving. So, I know. John, do you need a tissue?
Yes, we need the tissue already.
Okay. But just so everybody knows, we will not have a show next week, but we will see you on November 30th will be the next show. So just a reminder of that. And take it away, JL.
Okay. Well, this week, like I said before, we were thinking that we would talk about things that we are thankful for in our Disney-driven lives. And Nicole had the fabulous idea of coming up with a sort of countdown. So we all made a top 5 list of things that we're thankful for that we'll be going over this evening. And if you can think of things that you are thankful for, go ahead and pop them up in the chat room. Scott's going to be monitoring the chat tonight. And it just could be that he decides to take what you've stuck in there and insert it into our show, and we'll talk about that as well. So how about we start with you, Nicole? What is your number 5 on your top 5 list of things you're thankful for?
I'm so excited to talk about my number 5 because I didn't put them in order of like most importance. I don't know what the order is, but it's like, yeah, I guess. Okay. Anyway, so Walt is my number 5, and here's why. I'm really thankful for Walt Disney because of his business perseverance, because he had such a rocky road. And if you've seen One Man's Dream, the movie at the end, I just saw it recently. So that's where all this is coming from. I'm regurgitating. Don't judge me.
Mail. I'm good with that. The Senate show. Yeah, I know.
Appropriate love mail.
It'll all be Nicole, I'm thinking. But.
No, not
Scott, don't get
actually.
the love mail.
Wait, it's because of the beard, right?
No, I get the love mail because of the beard.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe I should grow a beard.
No.
You should. So it's show@innermouse.com. So send us an email. And hey, if you just want to say hi, do that as well. Just a little update. Our good friend in the chat room, BB1955, purchased a bunch of crazy foods in Epcot in Mexico for me to eat. So I promise I will save them and I will eat them on a future show. And that should be a lot of fun.
Awesome.
That was really
and
sweet.
one more last thing, unless you wanted to jump in, John, go for it.
No, I was saying awesome to BB1955 because we like to watch you suffer sometimes.
She gave me a hint, and it sounds like spicy stuff, and that's right up my alley because I love spicy food.
Man versus Disney food.
It'll be our new episode. And one last thing. All of us here at Inner Mouse wanted to wish all of you a wonderful Thanksgiving, and we hope that all of you have crispy trees. And I think it's back to Nicole with one more Mousegiving.
Yes, I wanted to personally invite you all, runners or not, to join in on the virtual race that I'm throwing in collaboration with Tim Weston to fundraise for Team in Training, which benefits the Lymphoma and Leukemia Society. And it's basically just online. You register by donating through his website. You would pay $5 to join and then $1 per mile. And then that's how you sign up. And then you would just run it, in your neighborhood, at your gym, whatever you normally do. And then we're going to have a $25 gift card as the prize that you would win